Testing, testing. Good, good. We've got volume. Let's hit go here on the Facebook. All right, here we go. Well, hello everybody. Cinco de Mayo. Happy Wednesday. Good to see you here. I'm Lynn Clementi. I am bringing you kind of a raw one today. Oh, what do I mean by that? Well, I'm feeling a bit emotional, and I was really trying to figure out what am I going to do with all these emotions today. Am I going to put on a happy face, stick to the curriculum, and move forward, or is this an opportunity to dig in and use real feelings as an example? So I'm going with using them as an example. And this isn't going to be easy. So hang in there with me. It's going to be a little emotional for both of us. But I think that we're all going to learn something from it. So how are we feeling today? If you are joining me, I'd love to see you. Say hi in the chat, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. I would love to know that you're there. And we're kicking this off right now, actually, with no viewers, which is kind of nice. Okay, so nice and easy here, which means if you're watching the replay, let me know that you're watching the replay. That's totally awesome. I love when people leave me a little comment afterwards that I get to come back and see, whether that's on Facebook or YouTube, and especially those likes. And definitely if you're catching me for the first time and you haven't subscribed yet, I would love for that to happen too. All right, so enough of that, self-promotion out of the way. Let's do some work here. So what's going on? So besides the technical difficulties that I had right before I went live, which you guys, if I hadn't said anything, probably wouldn't know anything about. But it's been a day. I had acupuncture this morning, and it was a different, all the appointments that I've had so far, we worked on the front, all the needles and stuff, pins, I don't know what they officially call them, needles, I think. They went into the front of me. And today, when I got there, the acupuncturist was asking me how things are going and how I'm feeling. And I'll get into that in a moment, but she said, okay, we're gonna flip you over and actually work on your back. And it was very interesting. She gave me a meditation after she finished setting everything up. And she said, look, because I don't know if you've ever done acupuncture or not before. They put, I don't know, I don't really count, but maybe 15 or so pins in me. Maybe more, maybe 20, not that many. And then they leave you in kind of a dim room, and there's that kind of meditative music going on. Sometimes it's water and the kind of calming music that I have playing the past few times on my live streams before we start for kind of thinking music. So lights are down, music's on, the acupuncturist leaves the room for I think about 15-20 minutes or so, and then they come back in and check, and they actually put crystals in your hands, which is a very I don't know, I don't ask why, I just go with it, and it's fun. But today, before she left, after putting the needles in me, she said, okay, what I want you to picture, and mind you, I'm face down in one of those kind of donut holes, like you get a massage, on one of those tables and stuff. So my body's all on a table, and then my face is in one of those donuts, and I'm looking down. And she goes, okay, after I leave, I want you to think about all the negative energy, stress, grief, sadness, and everything that are in your organs. And where these needles are placed, they are helping to release those toxins. But I want you to picture a magnet hovering above your body, sucking all those things out. Okay. And she said, let go of the things that aren't serving you. That was the final thing that she said before she left the room. So I'm like, okay, all right, we're going to do this. I was very calm. My body was relaxed. I went into this kind of with some access to some feelings that I've been having anyway. and I was really putting my mind to trying to release, to let go of the things that are not serving me. And what I got to in my mind while I'm trying to do this, right, is that I think I'm an emotional hoarder. I kind of coined that term as I was going through acupuncture this morning. I had a hard time letting go of things that are probably considered like negative, energy in my body. Sadness and fear. Fear is a big one for me right now. I'm going to get emotional on you today. I'm giving you warning. So if you are not like in a place to see this, maybe come revisit it later. But it is Mental Health Awareness Month, and it's a topic that really hits close to home for me because I've been there. I've gone through very dark places, dark times, and it still hits me from time to time out of the blue. And I think I've addressed that with you a few times. But it doesn't make me less than. And I used to think that it did. I used to think that it made me broken. And I'm not broken. In fact, I think I'm very aware of how human I am. And why I'm sharing this with you is because through the months that I've been live streaming with you and sharing my journey, one of the things as an audience, people have reflected back to me is that by watching me go through the journey, it helps them feel better about theirs. And even if they're not on a fertility journey, it helps them with whatever it is they're going through. So I'm gonna kind of put myself out there today, because what we've been working on lately is building a support system. And I put together this, super cute free worksheet for you guys to download as a PDF and fill out. And every time I go to work on one piece of that pie, to dive deeper into that, quadrant, I guess it wouldn't be a quadrant. Quadrant is 4, I think. I made 5 sections of this support system. And, what I can do here real quick is pull it up just in case you don't know what I'm talking about. I made this, it's something that we can work on together. This is the one I'm going to want. Okay, here we go. Oh, look at this. Live Streaming Pro, here I am. Okay, so I made this nice worksheet for, visual aid for working on our support system. The 5 sections I have here: education, fellowship, accountability, purpose, and mental health / mind body. Now, I'm realizing that all of this is kind of mental health. When we're looking for support, really, that's taking care of ourselves, and that's mental health. And hi, Courtney, I see you here. And hi, Ashley. Wow, guys, thank you so much. 2 of my favorite people to dive deep with. I don't know who's watching on YouTube, but if you're not too shy, say hi. And thanks, Ashley and Courtney are over on the Facebook page, watching live. Okay, sorry. Ooh, I'm clicking around on the things that you guys can see. Okay, here we go. So why has it been so tough to do this? I go through each of these sections of the worksheet trying to figure out what I can work on first, which one's the easiest, which one is like a no-brainer where we can all go through this together and kind of identify who or what are the support things in that section. For example, education, right? If we're putting, my biggest journey right now is the fertility journey. And mind you, there are a lot of other journeys going on right now too. At the same time, just like you probably have multiple journeys going on right now. And whether you call them journeys or not doesn't matter. There's something going on in your life that you are working on, that you are not stagnant on. It might be your family or your career or health or somebody else that you care about. Whatever it is, okay, that's a journey. That's what I'm considering a journey. And when I'm doing my fertility journey, education to me were the books that I was buying and reading and rereading, and audiobooks that I was listening to, and marking up these books and bookmarking and stuff like that, and following them, to a T, because I needed something that I was believing in. Okay, so that was my education. I needed something that had science behind it, that someone had researched and said, look, this is what we found, this is what will help you, and it applied to me. Okay. Education, Google, all right? I think we can all put that in that category. So, sorry, there's a fly in here. It is just buzzing around. It's just kind of the day that it is for me. But education can go so much deeper than that too. So I was like, I'm not ready to tackle that until I really dig into what education in all of its forms could be. So I didn't feel like I was able to deliver that for you. As a, I don't know. I don't even know what my role is in this. All I'm trying to do is present stuff that's helpful and valuable to the viewers. Okay, you kind of see where I'm going, but fellowship, talking to people that have been through it. Okay, this should be an easy one too, right? Who do we talk to? We find other people that have gone through infertility issues, or people that have gone through IVF. You can find them on Facebook. You can find them by casting a net on your social media and saying, hey, I'm going through this. And you'd be surprised how many people say, oh my God, I went through that too. And they will DM you, and they will comment, and they will love, and they will care. And very rarely would anyone dare to say, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing that. What's the matter with you? But you can kind of see, okay, I wasn't ready to dig into the fellowship yet either. Accountability, same thing as, it could be a system, it could be a calendar, it could be, Bert and I talked about this on our walk last night. Like, we just started to see how big accountability could go from being a person to a planner to a system that you have in place. I was not ready to tackle any of these things for you. It's holding me back from diving in, because I have my own doubts about what I'm capable of doing. And it's a lot because of my fertility journey. So what I'm getting to is, whatever journey you're on, if it's one that's difficult, one that is not, one that may potentially leave you vulnerable, or for someone to say that you're weak, maybe, or broken, or incapable of taking care of yourself. Those are the things that really start to get into that lonely territory. So I'm going to wander a little. Bear with me. And let me put something out there to you. Think about a time where you have had trouble reaching out for support, and send me a chat, or put it in the chat if you don't mind sharing what things come to mind for a reason not to share personal information or reach out for help. What are some words or phrases or examples? Let me know. And if you don't want to, that's okay too. But I want to put into kind of why it's been tough, is because support can come from something small to something very, very, very big. And by small, I mean, let's say a pet dies, okay? Or, yeah, a pet dies. Okay, my cat died. I remember how horrible it was. I'm sure you've probably had a pet in your life that has passed away. Maybe a family dog or cat, or a reptile even. But you had some sort of an emotional attachment to it. It died, and you felt that. You probably felt that, and you probably felt it in a way where there wasn't a lot of shame in that emotion. Okay? So shame is kind of the key here. Maybe you put it out there to social media and said, hey, my dog passed away today. And there was an outpouring of, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm here for you, and I've been there, and it's hard when we lose a pet and everything. And people can empathize that with that kind of a loss fairly easy. It's not super, it can be really tough if somebody else went through it, but there's not as much of a triggering factor or fear, that it can set something else off. Does that make sense? Yeah, Ashley saying that is so sad when that happens. Pets are like family. Yes, exactly. So we can, this is something that's easy to empathize with. Okay, great. I think that part, like, so it's something that when we share that, and people can come and empathize with it, it makes us feel better, right? A little bit. Because you put it out there, people are like, I'm here for you, I care. You're in there almost like, not justifying, what's the right word here? Your emotions, though. They're saying it's okay to be really sad about this. It's a sad thing. Okay, now let's take it to something a little bit more complex. We'll talk about infertility because this is something I'm personally going through. Now, I've been open about it, much more than most people. And I got the reward of a lot of people reaching out to me on an individual basis to share their stories, to offer their support, to say, hey, I see what you're going through and I feel it. There were very many different, very many different ways that people responded to that. And it was amazing for me. And it was because I was, I don't know, naive enough. I don't know. I don't want to put a label on it, but because I put myself out there. But most people don't do what I'm doing. They don't start a YouTube channel to talk about their fears and insecurities about infertility. That is just not how it works. Infertility, that stupid name of it itself, infertility, kind of makes it seem like you're infertile, there's something wrong, you can't grow anything. It's a horrible label to put on this very, very hard journey. In going out there and saying, hey, I'm infertile, or we're going through an infertility journey, which is a nicer way of putting it, right? Because it's a journey, and journey, I think, kind of, and Bert and I had this discussion yesterday, kind of alludes to there being some sort of ending to the journey, right? That there's, you're enjoying the journey, but it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Like there's some sort of like good that comes with the word journey. But there's also a fear that I'll put myself out there, and there's going to be judgment. Judgment like, oh, why don't you just adopt? And a whole bunch of unsolicited advice from people who haven't been through it, that don't know it. Okay, that didn't happen as much as one might think. But that's not the case for everyone. I do feel like I got fairly lucky because of I like to consider myself a very open-minded person, and I think I surround myself by other open-minded people. However, there are families and cultures that are not that way. And so when you're going through something as lonely and scary as infertility, putting it out there and expecting, a positive support system to kind of come from that, that's very unlikely in some situations. So that's why I'm stuck. That's why I'm stuck here. I'm stuck in trying to help you put together your support system. I'm going to see some comments. I didn't pull up my thing to put it up on screen. Let me see if I can pop that up really quick. Thank you guys for hanging in there with me. I see a few people watching. I know that this is more of a serious one today. So I appreciate you being here with me on this emotional journey a lot. Okay, we're going to hop this up. I'm going to put this up here. Whoopsies. Courtney says, I don't know how to ask for help when we had the miscarriage. There were a lot of feelings of being the only one because no one talks openly about it. Shame and like you had failed. 100%, Courtney. Yeah. You actually did I remember the day that you talked about this on Lita, and I felt that all those feelings with you. I am really scared, guys, of the transfer day, which is June 1st. And I don't know if Ashley's still watching right now. Hers is on Friday, and I hope you don't mind me mentioning Ashley, but she's nervous too. She's scared. And why is it such a scary thing? because of all the things that can go wrong. The fear of failure, the fear that there's this baby you're putting inside you and hoping that it sticks, and then it doesn't. And the fear of, if you've been through it once, going through it again. I can't imagine these women that go through it over and over and over again. So I'm really sorry if this is tough to hear. I like being a message of hope and positivity, and we got this, and we have to keep that positive energy. But I really thought hard about whether or not I wanted to share this with you guys. My fear, how scared I am, and the doubts that I have. And I decided that I want to share it with you. Yes. Here's why. When we watch movies, sometimes we have a few different reasons for watching movies. Sometimes we just want to be entertained and laugh, and other times we want to be excited, by action and thrill, right? Sometimes we want to watch a romantic comedy so that we can feel love. And sometimes we watch things to feel really raw feelings, because it helps us feel the feelings we have anyway. And in a dark movie theater, we can cry and maybe no one will notice our tears. Or if you're comfortable doing it with your partner, sitting on the couch, or your family, that's amazing if you can. Or sitting alone watching a movie. Sometimes when Bert's out of town, that's what I do. I just put on the most emotional movies I can find, and I just let the tears go. I let everything the release of emotion is just amazing. So we've been watching movies lately that have to do with fertility and adoption and IVF and IUI and all the things and everything. And they've been, some of them are that's not really what happens, but it's close, but they're capturing the emotional part of the journey. And so it's a good release to see other people going through it so that we can connect. So we can connect with our own feelings that might be hard to access alone. Okay. All right. And I know I'm meandering, but I hope that you're kind of following along with this. Courtney's saying, you're helping so many people by sharing your journey. Thank you, Courtney, so much. And yes, sharing honest emotions allows others to do the same. Yes. And not even share for other people to share them, but connect with them. It's Mental Health Awareness Month here in May, the whole month of May. I'm so excited. Just think of all the emotions we're going to get in touch with here. When we stuff the emotions, especially ones that usually are pejorative, I guess, fear, anger, sadness, those are the things that people feel uncomfortable seeing other people go through. And so when we have those feelings and other people are like, oh, don't be sad or don't cry, the fact that they're telling you don't do that, you hear that over and over and over in your life, and you start to think, oh, I'm not supposed to have those feelings, but you are. We're all supposed to have those feelings. That's what makes us human. That's what makes us human and connect. All right. So, what I hope is coming from today is a awareness that it's okay to have whatever feelings you're having, to work through the tough ones, and to know that you can't usually do the tough ones alone. You do need to reach out for support. And if I'm getting super vulnerable here, and over 10 years ago, I went through probably the darkest time of my life. It was almost an entire year that I shut everyone out because I was so shameful. I was so ashamed. Not shameful. I was so ashamed of something I did, something that happened. That I did the judging for everyone else. I judged myself hard. I said, I am not worthy. I am not worthy of forgiveness. I can't forgive myself. I've done something horrible and unforgivable that will always be there. Now, 10 years later, now I did this exercise a month or two ago on a live stream where I wrote a letter to myself, and then of 10 years ago, and then 10 years from now I wrote a letter to myself of today. And that was a very emotional one too, and I'm not gonna, redo that. But if you wanted to catch it, you can. It is there and available in the playlist. What I want to say is, whatever hard thing that you're dealing with, it does go away when you work on it. And how I got out of that dark place was by finally letting someone in. I got a therapist. I finally let in my best friend. My family, I started to talk to about it in long conversations, and they were uncomfortable and meandering, and things came just blurting out that there was no thought. It was just all just coming from within, like word vomit. And that takes a lot of trust to do with people, because you're scared that they may judge you again, or that fear of judgment, is coming up from yourself that maybe isn't even there in the first place on their end. It's a really, really, really vulnerable and hard thing to do. But when you do get there to that point that you can reach out and talk to other people, you'll start to feel better. Other things that I did was really, really long journal entries, just getting it all out. And when I left my appointment this morning from acupuncture, it's actually what the acupuncturist suggested. She's like, just doodle or journal or whatever, but just get it out of the system. And I think that's what happens in art a lot. It's why I love the arts, is like creative expression is, man, it's really tapping into something internal. And recently I put together a montage of really happy moments, and that's the space I was in. But like, if I were to make a montage of the past few days, it would be very, very, maybe unwatchable, but very raw, very different. And I think there is a fear in me being here for you that I have to be the same every time, that I have to be funny, or that I have to be light or positive. But I'm not going to live by those rules. I am going to put all the lens out there. And if you want to judge it or whatever, fine, I don't care. But I think that my audience right now I think they're looking for their own ways of connecting with themselves or with others. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what's happening. So, hi Elliot, I'm glad that you're joining. Okay, I'm going to put your comment here. There's a quote from Catastrophe that I need to look up to confirm, but the gist is, what right do you have to not be afraid? Of course you are. It shouldn't be that hard to say, but it is. It really is. Yes, the feelings that they tell us, don't be afraid, don't be scared, don't be sad, don't be depressed. It's hard to look at. Be happy. Be happy. I had a necklace once that was a gift, and it said, be happy. And I'm like, when am I ever going to wear this? This is so dismissive of all the other emotions that we have. There are moments that I really just want to be happy, of course. But anyway, this has been a journey today. Honestly, I do feel better now that I've gotten it out of my system. This is, I guess, my art form is here, laying it all out in video form, in live stream form. Oh no, Bert, I'm not seeing the YouTube comments. For some reason, they're all zeros. Thank you for telling me. Bert's telling me on YouTube that I have, or on Facebook that I have comments. So I'm missing some. Hold, please. Oh. These, 16. I'm sorry, YouTube audience. I love you. Here they are. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay. Okay, let's back up. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yes. Okay. Hello, Mom and Dad is here. Piyush is here. I don't know if you're with me anymore. Piyush asked about acupuncture. Sure, I'm happy to answer this. I think today was my 5th visit, and I love it. It's amazing. I've been going about once a week and a half, and it's I don't really understand how it works, but it does have a noticeable difference on my body and my attitude and my wellness. And I recommend it. I highly recommend it for anybody, anytime, for anything. Really, really amazing. Really amazing. Marcus, hello. I don't know if you're still watching, but thank you. And thank you for the hearts too. Okay. Now, where are we here? Thanks, babe. Aw, Bert was watching and telling me. Oh, and you sent me hugs. Okay. Okay. I missed all this before, and wow, thank you. I'm an incredible, amazing, strong, and very unbroken human being. I'm surrounded by incredible people, and I want to help everybody be surrounded by incredible people, because I think if we look for that in our lives, people will become incredible, because we will ask them to be incredible for us. That's my theory. Embarrassment is another one. Don't be embarrassed. People tell us don't be embarrassed. But I don't know if that's what you were responding to. Oh, I think this might have been when I was asking what holds you back from opening up. Embarrassment. Yes. We think that that people are going to criticize and embarrass us or talk about us. It's a very tough thing. Some people are just private, and it's hard to open up. Here's Piyush. Oh, Piyush was watching past bedtime. People will take you for granted. That's why I pray to Krishna for becoming self-sufficient, and he gives you the energy for being strong enough and not expecting from this cruel world. Okay. I didn't know whether or not to share this with you guys, but I'm going to share it because, Piyush, I really appreciate you sharing this. I lately have been on kind of a very quiet and independent journey, trying to understand my spirituality. I've talked to Bert about it, and I've talked to my sister and her husband about it. And other than that, I have not really talked to anybody. I don't have a religion. I am okay with other people having religion. I guess I'm not going to get into the whole reason why or why not, but I have felt for a very long time that there are certain religions that judge us if we're not part of their religion. And that has been a more apparent thing going through IVF, that there are strong religious views that, are against that. And I had a hard time accepting that religion because of it. Well, if they're going to judge me, then I don't like them. But that's a very quick thing to say, because just because someone is of that religion doesn't mean that's what they actually believe. It just means they belong to a community of people that most religions have good intentions of, being connected. All the same things that I like doing with you, building community, giving us something to have in common and talk about and join together over. That's what religion is. I mean, they're doing the same thing as joining a soccer team or have a big family get together. I mean, this is community. This is what I live for, what I love. I just had it stuck in my head that religion was brainwashing, and that there were so many, that they cause wars and hate and stupid decisions and stuff. But guys, that's not all it is. There's that, and that kind of thing happens outside of religion too. It's people. Those are people. Those are not groups of people. So I have actually been doing a lot of work on being more accepting, and this is a lot thanks to Bert and my sister and her husband Rob. So I know that's kind of a journey. It doesn't happen overnight, but to be open-minded about that, and welcome in the potential for me to maybe get more in touch with my spiritual side. Okay. All right, what else did I miss here? Marcus said, I think it's important to share both the hope and the fear. Yeah. Thanks, Marcus. And Bert said, I love all the Lins. Thanks, babe. I'm glad that you love all the Lins. And you're so good at loving all the Lins, too. And Piyush, man, I know that it's way past your bedtime. I really appreciate you sticking with me today. It really kind of validates all of this emotion that I'm having and sharing with you guys. and I'm getting your message here. All right, time for you to cheer up and hit that bed bugs line. All right. Piyush, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Have a good night. This does feel a lot better sharing. I hope that you got something out of this. I hope you feel connected to any feelings that you've been having lately. And I want you to know that no matter what you're going through, you're not alone. And if you feel alone, there are ways to connect. And if you need a very private way, keep it away from your friends and family. There are tons of Facebook groups out there. Find a movie that relates to what you're going through. Watch it. Connect with it. Go through those feelings. And I'm always here, guys. I am happy, and I do not have to share your story publicly, or I am happy to just connect with you. And last thing I'll leave you with is, if you do decide to reach out to somebody and talk to them, let them know how you want them to show up for you, and make it known that this is not all that's going on for you right now. It's you're in a moment. You just need to talk through something, and ask them to either just listen, help you work through it, or tell them what you need from them, okay? So that's my tips for you, and I will let you know that this Friday is my birthday. And although that we already had a family and friends get together last week, and we played kickball and had a backyard get together, I posted a little montage of that on my my YouTube page, and shared it on my Facebook page. It's a little, kind of enjoying the moments along the journey kind of video, and I plan to do more of them. But this Friday, we're planning on, if the weather cooperates, going to the Cubs game. Now, the Cubs game starts around the time that I normally go live, and I do not want to leave my audience disappointed and hanging. So I plan to go live on the road and hopefully keep it nice and light and fluffy for my birthday, and we'll do a little bit of celebrating, and I've got a special shout out on Friday as well. So guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for being here for me, for listening, for connecting, for not judging, and for supporting me. I hope I am here as a support for you, even if it's, just putting myself out there so that you feel like you're not alone. Any way that I can be here for you, I'm happy to. So thank you. Courtney, you're saying you're here for me. Woohoo, happy early birthday. Heck yeah. We're going to have a blast on Friday. All right, guys, I am all done. Thank you. Have a great night, afternoon, rest of your day. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Enjoy some tacos and margaritas tonight. All right, guys. Bye.